The American Revolution was a clash of empires, a fight for liberty that resonated far beyond the 13 colonies. Across the Atlantic, the sound of musket fire echoed in the courts of Europe, reaching the ears of King George III. Faced with a determined rebellion, the king needed soldiers. Unable to rely solely on British forces, he hired mercenaries. Thousands of soldiers from the German states answered the call, forever remembered as the Hessians. These soldiers, primarily from Hesse-Kassel, were professional soldiers, bound by oaths and contracts. For them, the American Revolution was a distant conflict. They were driven by pay and potential land grants. The decision to hire foreign troops was controversial in Britain. Critics decried the reliance on mercenaries. However, the need for experienced troops outweighed concerns. Soon, thousands of German soldiers embarked on a journey across the Atlantic, their destinies intertwined with the fate of a fledgling nation. To understand the Hessians' role in the American Revolution, we must first understand their origins. Hesse-Kassel, along with other German states, had a long tradition of military service. For centuries, these principalities had honed their armies, often hiring them out to other European powers in a system that was as much economic as it was military. The soldiers themselves were not simply mercenaries driven by greed. Many were conscripted, drawn from the ranks of the peasantry and lower classes. They were trained in the art of war, drilled to follow orders with precision and unwavering discipline. This military tradition, while providing employment and a sense of duty, also came at a cost. The departure of thousands of men drained the local economies, leaving families bereft of sons, husbands, and fathers. For the rulers of these German states, the financial incentives offered by the British were too tempting to resist. The payments for troops helped to fill depleted treasuries and maintain lavish courts. However, the decision to send their soldiers across the Atlantic would have unforeseen consequences, both for the men who fought and for the image of the German states in the nascent American consciousness. The arrival of Hessian troops in America was met with mixed reactions. Loyalist colonists welcomed them as reinforcements, a sign of British resolve to crush the rebellion. Patriots, on the other hand, viewed them with suspicion and fear, portraying them as brutal mercenaries in their propaganda. The Hessians' first major engagement came at the Battle of Brooklyn in 1776, where their disciplined fighting contributed to a decisive British victory. Their performance earned them a reputation as formidable soldiers, feared for their marksmanship and unwavering discipline. They fought in numerous battles throughout the war, from the bitter cold of the northern campaigns to the sweltering heat of the southern colonies. However, the Hessians' experience in America was not solely defined by battlefield victories. They faced harsh conditions, unfamiliar terrain, and the constant threat of guerrilla warfare. Their distance from home, the language barrier, and the stark differences in culture and customs created a sense of isolation for many soldiers. Section 4. A Hessian's life duty, captivity, and desertion. Life for a Hessian soldier in America was harsh and unforgiving. They endured long marches, meager rations, and inadequate supplies, often suffering from disease and exposure. The vast distances and unfamiliar terrain posed significant challenges, contrasting sharply with the more familiar battlefields of Europe. Capture by the Americans presented another set of challenges. While some prisoners of war faced harsh treatment, others found themselves treated with unexpected kindness. The Continental Congress offered incentives for Hessians to desert, promising land and a new life in America. These enticements, coupled with the hardships of war and the allure of freedom, proved irresistible for some. Thousands of Hessians deserted, choosing to start new lives in the colonies rather than continue fighting for a cause that was not their own. The Hessians' experience in captivity also highlighted the ideological gulf separating them from their American adversaries. While many Hessians were professional soldiers simply following orders, their exposure to the ideals of the American Revolution sparked a degree of introspection for some. The concept of liberty, so central to the American cause, resonated even with those who had crossed the Atlantic to suppress it. Section 5. A lasting legacy, the Hessians' mark on American history. The Hessian involvement in the American Revolution left an enduring legacy, both in the annals of military history and in the shaping of American identity. Their reputation as skilled and disciplined soldiers is undeniable, etched in the records of numerous battles. However, Their role as foreign mercenaries hired to suppress a struggle for liberty has also colored their image in American memory. The term Hessian itself became synonymous with mercenary, a label that has persisted in some circles to this day. Yet it is essential to remember that these soldiers were products of their time, bound by the social and political realities of 18th century Europe. Many were conscripts, while others were professional soldiers seeking a steady income and the promise of a new life. The story of the Hessians in the American Revolution is a complex and multifaceted one. It serves as a reminder that historical narratives are rarely simple, often encompassing a spectrum of motivations, experiences, and legacies. Their story compels us to look beyond simplistic labels and grapple with the human complexities inherent in any conflict, even one fought centuries ago. Like and subscribe emgotvhistory. Warfare for more stories.